welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Hey, we got a guest on the channel today, guys. We have Kamryn Walks, straight from the non-so-war-ravaged Frontline of Portland. He's going to tell us about his experience there and who he is and what he does. So without further ado, let me pull him on over and get my camera over there as well. And we'll just start. We're going to start. I don't like making guests wait. Here we go.
All right. Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep.
What's up?
How's it going, man?
It's going good.
Yeah?
Beautiful, rainy, chill day over here in Portland.
Very cool, very cool. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm young adult in my mid-20s. I do traveling. I've been traveling since April of 2024. Seen all of New Mexico, Colorado, Utah, Arizona, Cali, Oregon, Washington now, and now I'm on the way back down to all those places.
Where are you from originally without doxing yourself?
I'm from the DFW, Texas, Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Dallas-Fort Worth area. Wow, man, you're on quite the adventure.
Yeah.
Very cool. So tell us a little bit about your channel. I kind of peeked into it. You've been a little bit everywhere.
Yeah. So I was living in Mississippi for like a year before I took off on this trip. So I did some videos there with there was like homelessness going on there, and people don't really report on homelessness in red states. You always hear about it in like San Francisco, Portland, LA, but I did some research, and I found out that there's a higher percentage per capita amount of homeless people in this town called Hattiesburg, Mississippi, than there is in San Francisco. Of course, there's more bodies that are homeless in San Francisco, but the percentage like per capita was actually higher over there. So I wanted to shed light on that. I've done stuff like that. Most of my stuff on my channel is just like travel, in the woods, hiking. But I also like to, when there's protests and stuff going on or something I'm interested in, I go and do that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah, you gave me kind of the van life mentality when I was checking out your channel. Very very Humboldt County-esque, if you will. It was
yeah.
It was quite the feeling. Just you've been to some Hindu. It looks like Hindu temples as well.
Yeah, I've been to 2 Hindu temples. I go to Christian churches too whenever I'm in cities as well. I just went to like a Southern Baptist church up in Washington. So I'm all over the place. I like to listen to all kinds of people's perspectives and stuff.
Southern Baptist church, how was that?
I grew up in Southern Baptist churches, so it's not too far out for me. But the way that they think, they were like praying over this administration and stuff like that, and it was kind of like, oh no. But I can see that their hearts aren't bad. They're not like bad people at heart. They're mostly just old people, honestly. And it's easy to be swayed by media and stuff whenever you're older, because they're used to being watching one channel their whole lives, and listening to what's told to them. So I could tell that their hearts are good, but they're misinformed.
Fun fact, I was actually baptized in a Southern Baptist church in Mendocino County in Kamshiukaya Road, in the middle of frickin' nowhere, by the coolest he was the coolest little pastor Doug. And I was tripped out, because I was getting baptized. We're backstage. And he's like, "Here, put this robe on." And I look over, and he's like, "Are you ready?" And he's completely naked. Yeah. And I'm like, "Ready for what?" He's like, "To get baptized." So he's throwing on his robe. It's his paper thin robe. I'm like, man, he don't give a flying fuck.
That's great. I've been baptized twice, but never by a naked man. So
yeah, it was wild. It was wild, man. It was really cool. And then they did a little Polaroid photo, and it came out with like angel wings on accident behind me. It was really cool looking.
That's beautiful.
So let's hear a little bit about Portland. I want to hear about the war-ravaged Frontline.
All right. So I guess I'll go back to when I first kind of got here. I got here back in May and kind of just enjoyed the city for a bit. But then I heard about these protests going on because I went to the No Kings Day back in June. I think it was June 13th or 14th, whatever day that was, that the big military parade happened. And there was like 30,000 people walking the streets of Portland. It was so cool. And then I was going around one block, and there was like a bunch of people saying, "Hey, if you really want to protest, come to the ICE building tonight, blah, blah, blah." So I was like, okay. And later in the night, I went to the ICE building, and that was my first night there. Got a little feel for that. It was a good amount of people that night. And then I stayed in the Portland area for a little bit from June to July. And I was out there like 15 or 16 nights documenting it. It's all on my channel. I have it hidden right now under a membership thing because I don't want to like put everything that I put out there just in case I don't want to get people in trouble and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But what I saw wasn't really crazy or anything back then. The craziest night back in that time was on July 4th. So there was fireworks that people had brought, and someone set off some fireworks and they all started running. The police all started running at everyone and trying to get people and shit. So, can I curse on here? Sorry.
Yeah. This is we're an adult channel here. I drop the F-bomb all the time. I try not to. I'm trying to be a better human as far as that goes, but it's really tough when you've been doing it since the 5th grade,
Yeah, no, I feel that. I'm a potty mouth as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so back then, it was pretty chill except for the July 4th thing. There were some fireworks that went off, but nothing crazy at all. Fast forward to now, I left Portland and then I went to Washington, traveled and stuff, came back the past week, and I've been here pretty much every night on my streaming the protests going on because Trump has kind of elevated things in the past 2 weeks, saying Portland's a war zone. There's fires everywhere. There's this, there's that. So I was like, all right, let me go back to Portland and see what's up. And I haven't seen a single fire since I've been there. So as far as that goes, there's no fire. No fires happening. It's been mostly peaceful. I have noticed what is going on now is there's a lot of MAGA people that are showing up.
Yeah, right. Instigators.
That wasn't going on back when I was here in June and July. There wasn't really any MAGA people that were showing up and yelling at people and getting in their faces and stuff like that. But I've seen that all this past week, except for last night. It was pretty chill because I think the 2 main agitators were arrested the night before. So so it's chilled out. But I'm curious to see what it's like today. Today's a Saturday, so that means more people off work and going out there. So there might be agitators again tonight. But that's the main kind of conflict and war stuff that's going on is MAGA people yelling at people. And it's not only that too. I mean, there's people that get frustrated on the left as well with these people. And so I've seen, one MAGA guy was just sitting there recording, and a person on the left came up and kind of like hit his phone, which I think is a little bit uncalled for. You got to keep those right. Emotions and use your voice. Don't give in to what they want you to, because they're going to capture those moments. And I'm sure he did capture that moment when his phone was hit. So
exactly, we saw Nick Sorter push his way into a tent the other day, and then someone ended up getting socked in the face from one of the MAGA guys, and just escalated. That's what they're there to do. Their intentions are evil. They want to escalate things and make it harder for everybody. The real question I know everybody wants to hear in the chat right now is: have you talked to the frog?
I did talk to the frog. It was in my stream the night before last. I'm actually, that's part of the reason I'm here at the library. I'm editing up that next, and I'm going to put out the full interview. There's this dude like kind of talking to him, and I just walked up when it was happening, and the frog had a good amount to say. So that'll be on my channel probably tonight.
Awesome. Yeah, he seems like a really down-to-earth guy. It looks like he did a couple interviews mask off as well. Just a really chill, good soul that wants to see this end. He's afraid for his people and his community. Really cool to see him down there. And it looks like there was do you anticipate a larger turnout of more inflatable protesters?
Yes, the past few days we've been seeing more inflatables than ever. I think someone just went and bought a bunch of them because there was a pile full of inflatables that were new, unopened, and some people took off and left. So there's like a pile of inflatables. So if anyone here watching in Portland wants to come dress up as an inflatable, stand in the front lines, dance, make the optics look good, come do it. There's a lot of inflatables out there.
I know we got a couple people very close to Portland, so I'm gonna be counting on at least one of them. I'm not gonna name him Pyro. I'm not gonna name him, but he should definitely go out there. It'd be hilarious to see. I actually love watching the insanity behind it. It's so poetic to see federal agents out there in body armor and gas masks against a frog. That to me is like iconic Americana. Like, I want to get that picture framed. You've been to a couple 50-51 rallies as well. We were talking about behind the scenes. Yes. What was that experience like?
So I went to the very first one. So I remember when 5051, the subreddit, started getting, I was there in the first 3,000 members. I think it has 150,000 members now or more. And I was just watching it grow and grow and grow. And I was like, oh shit, now they got a date planned. I think it was February 5th or 6th or 3rd. I can't remember. I messaged you earlier and said it. But I was like, all right, let's go. I was at that time working with an organization in San Francisco called Stop AI. Their info is stopai.info. Their website. They're a good organization, and they're fully like against the creation of super intelligence AGI. Anyways, besides that, I talked them into sending me and another dude from the organization to Sacramento because that's where the big 5051 thing was going on. So we went there and set up a little Stop AI thing. We were talking to people about dangers of AI, but as well as, you know, how Trump was kind of like giving AI leaders like Sam Altman, Peter Thiel, all them like this free for all amount of like no restrictions on what they can do pretty much. And we were trying to spread that kind of information out there. But the first rally was so cool. There were so many people that showed up, all different kinds. There was like this hippie reggae dude that I really like. That was so cool out there. Like just dancing and smoking a J, I think, and just in a full like hippie mode. That was cool. There wasn't really any agitators or anyone out there at that time. It was just basically people coming together. And then I went to the new No King's Day here. I don't know if that was put on by 5051. I think it was. That was really cool. That's the most people I've seen ever at a protest here in Portland. So that was really cool too.
So where was the first 5051 rally that you attended? The actual first one?
At Sacramento, California.
So actually she's been on the channel interviewing for Advocacy, Kim, Lumi2C in the chat. She actually she was at that rally as well. She sent me a bunch of footage. I'm gonna go back and see if I could actually see you there. That would be kind of hilarious.
Yeah. I sent you a picture. I was wearing a red shirt and gray pants with some yellow writing on it. So if you see me, it'd be funny.
So I'm there. I try to get there on the 24th of every month as well because the Sunflower Society of Sacramento holds rallies there in support of Ukraine. And it's not just Ukrainians there. There's people from all around the world that end up there. Belarusians, Americans, even some Russian diaspora are there. And they all are there for the same cause. It was really cool to see that you were at that rally at the Capitol. That's my romping ground. I'm there all the time.
That's
really
cool
to
yeah.
see.
Yeah, that's cool. When I was in California, when I was passing through Fresno, California, I actually went to a Slavic church there. So that was I could see that there's some people from that area of the world in California, and also in San Francisco. The Russians kind of have their own little neighborhood there too. I forgot the name of it, but
I think it's called Little Russia,
yeah,
Park, Russian Park, Little Russia.
So I think it's Little Russia or something like that. But yeah, they have a little area over there. A cool big old Russian church there too. I didn't go, but I saw it.
What was your feel of the Slavic church that you went to in Fresno?
It was really cool. I went on Christmas Eve, and I went the Sunday before Christmas Eve, and they invited me to come back on Christmas Eve for a candlelight service. And so I went, and we were all holding candles and singing and shit. But everyone there was so nice and welcoming, and yeah, actually a lot of them were Ukrainian too. But yeah, I shout out the Slavic people.
Yeah, I was in 2 Russian churches on the 23rd of, what was this? Was it August 23rd, National Flag Day in Sacramento. I was at a Seventh-day Adventist Ukrainian church. And then I ended up the next day on the 24th having the best borscht in the world in a Orthodox Ukrainian church in Rio Del in northern Sac as well. And dude, it was the best time. I had the best time. There was, after the first night, it was like dancing afterwards. Like old school dancing, delicious food, great conversation. The pastor was super cool. I came in here, he didn't know who I was, and I set up, and he looks at me and starts speaking Ukrainian. I'm like, я ще вчуся говорити українською. He looked at me, he's like, that was perfect. It was really good.
I don't know what you said, but it sounded good.
I told him I'm still learning how to speak Ukrainian, and he was like, oh man, you did really good. It was a really cool vibe there. I like doing that as well. I like going to different areas and checking out different stuff. That you were talking about, what was it? AI, Stop AI, is that what it was called?
Yeah, Stop AI.
You want to hear? So I'm guilty of using it. I use it for making music. I use it for some video editing. But I'd like to hear your take on that. What's Stop AI about?
So Stop AI is an organization. They're not completely against AI. So they are cool with like some types of tool AI, which are basically like, subtitle help. They can use AI and drones to like spot sharks in the water for people surfing and stuff like that. Like those kinds of AI, which are like useful tools, to help humanity. isn't really what they're against. They're more against AGI, which is artificial general intelligence, which is basically AI coming alive, AI thinking for itself, because it could get to a point where AI is thinking for itself and it realizes, yo, humans are kind of making the earth bad. Like if AI learns that the earth is what needs to survive, and they see that humans are kind of
Parasite.
yeah, it could wipe us out and stuff. Which, I mean, humans are kind of a parasite. That happens, I guess, it is ourselves. But we don't want that. What we want is humans to be able to grow and come to a conclusion of, yo, we want to love the earth, we want to protect it, and we want to get along together. And if we get wiped out by AI before that's possible, then we'll never know what could be. So yeah, they're kind of just against that, and they're against certain tool AI that can take jobs. Like, you've seen a couple companies use AI commercials whenever they used to pay like a whole staff to create the text for the commercial, the CGI for the commercial, the actors, etc., etc.
Right.
Now it's put in a prompt to Sora, Midjourney, whatever those AI things are, and they just basically can get it for free, maybe a little bit of money to have people tweak it or whatever. But people are going to lose their jobs from some tool AI. So I think it's, if you're able to pay $5 to an artist or whatever to help you with, anything like video, music, whatever, I think that will go a lot further than just typing in a prompt, and it will be more like wholesome and real,
Yeah, that's funny you mentioned losing. As soon as AI was really announced, it's been a few years ago now, I'd imagine. As soon as it was announced, two of my Ukrainian friends actually lost their jobs like immediately to it. And they were ones that actually got me hooked up with the Sunflower Society in Sacramento. Without meeting them by a chance incident in my work, I wouldn't have linked up with a lot of people and been able to help a lot of people too. So it is a shame they are taking jobs. Also, the natural resource impact of AI. I don't think a lot of people are talking about that as well. Do you know anything about that? Have they said anything in the AI world?
Yeah, I don't know too much about it. I do know, I don't know if it was for just that one Chat GPT search, like a question asking to Chat GPT, or if it was to something more advanced like Midjourney to create an image or video or whatever. But I believe one prompt or one search or whatever uses a whole one bottle of water every time you look up something. So imagine all the people in the world using AI right now, and all these, but just imagine people pouring out water. And they're also they're creating these huge places. I think in Texas they're building one, and it's gonna be like this huge center that's gonna basically use so much resources and stuff to power this AI and whatnot. So yeah, it does use resources that we don't need to use just for something to take our jobs and now take our water, and it's a downward slope from there. Also, the privacy factor of AI as well. They're integrating it into everything. I'm actually going to be upgrading to a new phone this weekend, and all the new iPhones, and I think a lot of the new phones in the market have AI integrated into them. I don't really like that myself. I wish I could have an option between one model that has AI integrated and one that doesn't. But that's going to be very bad for all of our privacy.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think it's kind of it's going to be a necessary evil at this point. The match has already been struck. There is no going away from it, and a lot of these large companies and employers are saying get used to AI or get left behind, which is just that language in general is concerning. I've actually been thinking about doing a whole stream on AI and the dangers behind it. I guess there's unregulated AI for the next 10 years, but they're saying the sum of all human intelligence will be in AI in 6 years. Which is that
2027 actually is what I've heard.
I would imagine that AI would accelerate to the point where humans can't even calculate at that point. Have you heard of any reports of AI trying to survive? I've heard reports of AI that's self-aware trying to survive when the files are being deleted, rerouting itself.
No, I've heard of it encrypting its own communication to one another. So I've seen a video where there was one AI and another AI, and they had it talking to each other, and then I guess it realized that a human was using it for a video to talk to each other, and they started speaking to each other in some encrypted code language.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so
That's so scary. Oh my
It is.
god. Wow, I gotta find that. I gotta research that a little bit. What's
Yeah, look up or yeah, crypt AI encrypts its communication or something like that. I don't remember the name exactly, but
let me write this down real quick. What's
yeah,
next
dude.
on you? What's next on your journey?
San Francisco will be my next. I'm trying to make it to No Kings 2.0, which is on October 18th in every city in the USA, every major city. And if you're in small cities, don't be afraid to set stuff up yourself because when I was in Redding, California, which is a really small city, they call it Calabama, actually.
I know it.
Yeah, really, it's like a kind of a red part of California. But even some people there set up a no. It wasn't No King's Day. It was something after that, but they set up their own little thing, and it was cool. So if you're in a small city and you want to take part in No King's Day 2.0, I'd say set it up, even if you're just one person out there on the corner holding a sign. But that's where I'll be, is San Francisco for No King's Day 2.0.
I was actually in Reading while that was happening for work. And it looked like the setup came super early. It was smoky, right? There was a really big wildfire there around that time.
I don't remember smoke, honestly, but it could have been a different time because they've probably done several events.
Yeah, there was people on the overpasses when I'm going by. I'm like all the way up in deep red MAGA. Like when I think of MAGA California, I think of Reading. Like that is like the MAGA hub.
I got a story from that day. I was there, and I was just passing through town, and I heard that was going on. So I was like, all right, let me go to this. And I was there protesting and stuff, and there was huge agitator, counter protesters over in that area. And I kind of went over by them because I heard them talking back and forth crap to the protesters, and I was just kind of keeping an eye on what was going on. And then one of them started talking to me, and I kind of started chatting, and they were like, hey, you're paid to be here, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm not paid to be here, I promise. And they just wouldn't believe me. They couldn't believe me. And I got accused of being paid to be in this place that I was just passing through,
Seriously, it's almost like talking to a disease, it seems like sometimes. I mean, wouldn't you agree to that?
Yeah, disease is kind of a harsh word, honestly. The thing I see it as is it's misinformation that is blasted on these people, and they kind of get stuck in these little holes. It's like they find community in this. A lot of these people are lonely people, so they get on these messaging boards, like these QAnon messaging boards or these truth socials or whatever, and that's where they find their community. And they have each other hyping each other up, even though it's not good hype. It's a community that they feel. So it's like they're getting some kind of wholesome feeling from this by acting like a complete asshole. And so I think if we talk to these people more and just try to show them, like, yo, what you're believing, like point out facts, but don't do it in a harsh way. Don't make fun of them as much because I think that's a big problem right now too. Everyone makes fun of the other side. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna keep us driving apart. So what we need is talk to your MAGA friends. Go have lunch with them. Go hang out with them. Go smoke a joint with them. Go have a beer with them. Because most of these people aren't gonna freaking kill you. They have thoughts that you don't agree with. You have thoughts that they don't agree with. But the only way to mend and find common ground is talking with these people.
Yeah, I've had threats from longtime friends online, and they were just so mad at one of my takes. I don't know what it was. Oh, they actually said something that was super offensive to some of the people in my social media. And I wasn't having it because I have Ukrainian soldiers there in my social media, and they were talking shit about Ukraine really bad. And I had to delete his post because, dude, I'm not going to have a soldier that's fighting in Pokrovsk reading this message and go, oh my God, America fucking hates us. So I deleted this post, and I let him know, hey, I had to delete your post. I've got Ukrainian soldiers on the front line that are fighting there. And you fucking come back to this county again. Don't ever show your face. You couldn't make it here. Blah, blah, blah. You blah, blah. Can't wait till I see you again. I called him. Boop. Like right after I called him. Hey, buddy, how's it going? I'm like, oh my God, here we go. I'm like, hey, yeah, you sound pretty angry, so I thought I would call you. It sounds like you got a lot of hate in you, man. Let's talk about it. You're goddamn right I do. And, I had to step him through like in baby steps, like little chunks of meat, or like spoonfuls of applesauce, and then leading up to like maybe a handful of rice and then a steak, and kind of had to break it down that way to where that he could digest what I'm saying. He's still cooked into it, like big time. I didn't change him, but at least he could come to his senses a little bit and realize, hey, social media is one thing to talking to your friends. If they call you in person and want to discuss things for you, it did really have an effect on him, I believe. But a lot of them, it does seem like they're stuck in a cost sunk fallacy. Like they know their cards are spent, but they've gone so deep they can't turn around.
Yeah. I'm in that fallacy with AMC. I bought a bunch of AMC stock in 2021, and I'm like still trying to recover my fucking.
I never got into the stock market. Well, I did. I had a 401k at one point. I cashed it out and bought a house. It was probably the best thing I ever did, but God, that's a whole different subject I don't want to talk about. I want to talk about what got you on this journey to begin with. The younger you, what motivated you to start traveling around?
Okay, so early on in my life, I have family history with like drug addiction and shit like that. And then like on my dad's side, he's pretty like hardcore Christian. Now he's pretty super MAGA. He didn't used to be that way, but it's kind of like I've seen a progression. So I wasn't super close with him and didn't feel a lot of like I could be vulnerable around him. My mom's side, my mom's on pills and stuff, grandmother, all that. And so I kind of fell into that for a couple of years from age 16 to 19, late 19, almost 20. I was stuck in like a Xanax, oxycodone, lean haze for a couple of years there. And then I got arrested and went on probation for like 2 years. After I got off probation, started smoking weed again. I was smoking weed. And the first night that I smoked weed, we watched this like vegan documentary, and it basically showed me like everything that was wrong with the animal farming and like how that they like. It made me see animals as one of us, as on the same level. And so that was kind of my spiritual journey beginning right there. And then after that, I got sober before that from everything besides weed, and I do mushrooms every now and then, not much. But yeah, I was microdosing mushrooms and I was starting to feel a lot better. I was looking into people like Ram Dass. He was a former Harvard professor who, him and Timothy Leary, they found acid, and they basically quit their jobs as Harvard professors and went to India. Well, Ram Dass went to India. Timothy Leary stayed here and kind of went crazy. Ram Dass went to India, learned from a Hindu man named Neem Karoli Baba. And so he learned all these teachings and then came back over here to America and taught it to people. And it's picked up for all these years where I've learned shit like that. My girl started hearing about van life and stuff in 2020. And, we were working, we were living fine. We were enjoying our lives. We had friends doing things, but we just weren't happy with that 9 to 5. We weren't happy with the monotonous life. And we were like, let's save up. We saved up for 2 years. We got the van. We saved up for another year after we got the van to have hard cash to spend for a trip. And basically that's how we started. We had a bunch of cash. We got the van paid off and just hit the road in April of 2024 and decided to see the world. And that's kind of grown more from meeting people along the way, getting opportunities like talking to you. I've been in the news twice now since doing this in different cities, one in Phoenix, one last night or the night before last here in Portland. I met cool people in that Stop AI organization, met a cool couple in New Mexico. I'm actually getting invited to their wedding now. So yeah, it's just, life's about, I don't know, it's a journey, that's what I figured.
Sounds like weed saved your life. That's what I got from that. I've had experiences like that as well that have redirected my entire path, at least for the amount of time I needed to personally grow sober. But there have been very dark moments in my life too where I accidentally didn't microdose, overdid it, and had like visions where I'm like, oh my God, I gotta stop what I'm doing and do something else. But it's definitely helped redirect me at times. It's like being reborn sometimes if you have those experiences, Very cool. You were talking so the news channels, how did the news channels treat you? Because I've had kind of shitty experiences with mine.
Well, I mean, in Arizona, it was kind of just funny. They were at this library and they were just trying to talk to people about stoplights in their city, in Phoenix. And I'm like, I'm not even from here, but they're asking me. So and they're like, what do you think about the red light cameras? And I said, fuck red light. I didn't say fuck, but I said, red light cameras are stupid. If they want to catch you running a red light, they need to catch you. I don't think that there should be, because there can be faulty things that happen and you get tickets that shouldn't even have happened or whatever. I can send that clip to you later. It's pretty funny. But they were really chill there. Here the other night, I heard it was KATU 2, the news station here in Portland, and they were talking about a guy that just got arrested. He had a ukulele, and he had been there all night, but he stepped over like the federal line, and I guess one of the chief police persons saw him and said, "Hey, if you step over that line, or if you step onto my property again, you're gonna get arrested." And the dude, he kind of stepped off the property, but then he's like, "This isn't your property," and he put his foot over it. And then they came out like 10 minutes later and chased him down, slammed him to the ground. His guitar went flying in the street. And then I heard the news talking about it. They said, "We don't know what happened," and I was like, "I know what happened." And so they talked to me for a second. They were pretty cool.
So the editing wasn't like a completely adulterous. Like fucking, they brutalized me when I did. I can't remember what news. It might have been Fox. I can't remember what. No, I can't remember which one it was. But they took like 20 minutes of conversation into like 30 seconds of me speaking and found the most outlandish shit. Like the most like controversial. Like I was there for the Ukrainians. I was telling them more citizens need to be here. And then they just cut to me being a former Republican. And then they just nailed me with I'm a single topic voter this year. And all I care about is the Ukrainian people's sovereignty and making sure that people live. And they like cut out all the in-depth parts. It was absolutely, it pissed me off really afterwards. I'm like, next time I have to prepare and word it to where they can't just clip me.
Yeah, that's the hard part. It's like, especially being out somewhere and news comes up to you, it talks, or you find the news and want to say something. You don't have a script in hand. You're just speaking your mind. And so sometimes you can ramble on or not say exactly how you meant to get across. And so, yeah, I see how they could do that. And that sucks. Luckily, that didn't happen with me the other night. It was live. So I got to say what I said. Yeah,
we've already seen areas where they're clipping shit. The chuds that are out there on the ground are clipping so much content in Portland. It's outrageous. What's your experience been with the Portland PD itself?
So the Portland PD, in my opinion, has been pretty chill, keeping the peace. There was an incident the other night where this dude, I think he was on like the anti-ICE side, so he was more on the liberal side. He pulled up in like an old beat up truck with a bunch of junk in it. He gets out and like opens the door and a glass bottle falls, and then he threw a bottle near the MAGA people. And he had a CO2 gun holstered on his hip, like a airsoft BB gun, but it looked kind of like a real gun. If you didn't know at first, it wouldn't. So all the MAGA started yelling, "He's got a gun! He's got a gun!" And I thought that was funny because these people are the same people that are like, if they had a gun, it'd be like, "Chuck it up in the rot," But it's the other person, and they start screaming and yelling. So Portland PD came over, separated the groups, started questioning the guy, ended up giving him a citation and told him to leave. Which, in my opinion, honestly, on that, if the dude, I think because he was being a little aggressive, he was throwing bottles, and I think he kind of like pulled up his hoodie to show off the gun,
brandishing a firearm.
Yeah, I think he should have probably been at least booked for the night, so they had a name on who that person was in case something happened in the future. That's just my personal opinion on that. But they didn't take his mask off or anything either, which I think is like, if someone has a gun and is being kind of threatening, you should ID them, take off their mask and all that. They were a little lenient on that. I didn't like that personally, but they were chill. They de-escalated the situation, told the dude to leave, gave him a citation. He was gone. The night after that, so I don't know if you were in my stream or if you've seen footage, there was a new guy. He's like, have you heard of the Tommy Boy guy?
Yep. Yeah, we know Tommy Boy on the stream.
He came over after Tommy had been there for like a while, and it was his first night, that night that I first saw him. He was being hella mean to people, being pretty racist, all this shit. The next day he came, and I guess he had a stick with him, and he ended up hitting a girl with a stick and got arrested. So he lasted 2 days total. It was his second day out there, and he got arrested. It just shows like these people don't last long because they have hate in their heart. But Portland PD took care of it. They arrested him, got him out of there like right when that happened. So
yeah, I was watching, for the most part, when Mercado Media was down there, I was watching his stream when he was walking through the tear gas, because I'm one of his moderators on his channel as well. So I watched him for the most part, and then we tuned into you too. I was trying to find a film or a stream that wasn't exactly chuddy, because a lot of them,
Yeah,
I even noticed some of them were stealing my blue border on their thumbnails that I started doing.
really.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. So they, at least one of them was in my chat. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll go green border, and then I'll go, if I have to, I'll go rainbow border and see if they want to copy me
Yeah,
then, whatever it
there
takes.
you go.
But it was really cool. It was really cool seeing your coverage out there. The whole time you've been out there, what do you think the craziest thing you've seen is?
Craziest thing I've seen. Hmm.
It doesn't have to be violent either, just like the craziest, maybe the most weird Portland-esque thing you've seen.
Okay. I mean, the inflatables are really kind of Portland-esque. I like that. Another crazy thing I saw was that Tommy dude was smoking a joint, and it's funny because I've been like hearing him regurgitate Charlie Kirk all week, and Charlie Kirk was very against weed, so that was kind of crazy to see. The dude, yeah, pulling up and throwing glass bottles was kind of ridiculous the other night. So those three things right there are pretty, crazy shit that I've seen. I'm trying to think of something. I guess nothing too crazy out there. I mean, the craziest stuff, honestly, is whenever they come out and like they have like a big, I don't know what it is. It's like a gun that shoots canisters, so it'll shoot the smoke canister. So there was one night, there was like two of them out there with that, and the sounds were so loud. There was so much smoke, and like then they started running. You could see them run out of the smoke, just running at the protesters and shit. That was honestly one of I ran because I thought they were coming for all of us. It just felt like they were coming for everyone. So I ran like almost a mile. Like I was booking it. It was crazy. I left them in the dust. But I was like, that was one of the craziest moments. And then I walked back and I realized that they were chasing someone in particular because they do these targeted arrests out there. So they'll look for someone to cross a line, or they'll look to see if someone maybe threw a smoke canister back their way after one was thrown or something. And then the next time they come out, they'll target these people. And that was, I think, the first time that I saw a targeted arrest like that. And so that was really crazy for me.
So outside of the ICE facility, you've been around the town of Portland, right?
Yeah.
Like, I know there is definitely a homeless issue there. There's a lot of transient people. I don't want you to give a scale. Give your interpretation of that. How bad is the homeless population there? I mean, not saying bad. I don't want to say bad. I want to say how big of a epidemic is it for people that are out of a house?
You want me to be honest? It's pretty normal. So I'm from Texas, DFW. There's a street there in Fort Worth called Lancaster, and it's pretty bad. There's a bunch of homeless people on that street. It's just kind of like that, there's homeless people here down certain ways, especially on this eastern side of Portland, and down Powell towards the east, and then northeastern side up there's a good amount of homeless, but it's pretty spread out. I haven't had any problems. I've slept on the streets of Portland every single night. I find a spot to sleep, park my van, sleep, and I've never had a problem. So as someone who's traveled to several cities, the worst city I've seen for homelessness was Denver, Colorado. And the second worst was a small city called Las Cruces, New Mexico. It's about 30 miles from the border. And there's a lot of people on Fent and shit hanging out at parks and whatnot there.
Right.
So it's nothing crazy. It's not like a huge problem in Portland. It's pretty normal. People are going to be homeless, just like they are in Texas, just like they are in Mississippi, just like they are in Alabama. All those other states, there's homelessness too. They just don't talk about it.
Right. Yeah, that seems to be the highlight. Every time I talk to anybody in real IRL, because I live in deep MAGA red Northern California, they're like, Portland, yeah. Oh my God, it's just homeless people everywhere. It's like the number one topic. It's a shithole. It's on fire. I think it's important to bring into perspective homelessness is an issue throughout the United States. It's not just in Portland. Portland's not on fire because of it. It's not, and also a lot of people, maybe they've changed their lifestyle. Like you're on the van life vibe, right? Some people don't want to have a house.
I'm technically homeless.
Yeah, so you're technically homeless, right? It could be a lifestyle issue too, and I think that stigma needs to change in the United States too. But at the same time, we need to do a better job at making sure that people that want to get out of that situation have the opportunity to. And I think we've just failed. We failed our veterans at that. We failed everybody at that. Even people that are on drugs, having a hard time because That shit's gnarly, dude. I have my own recovery story I haven't shared with anybody yet. I'm not willing to at this point, but it could be a real struggle, you know?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've been there. It is. I'm thankful. Thank God I'm out of that. But yeah, I understand anyone who's struggling with that shit. If there's anyone in here that you know, anyone watching, if y'all are watching and y'all know anybody, there's a way out. You know, just help your friends, be there for them. What got me through it was my girl. She stuck with me. She never fell down that path of drugs and shit, but she kind of stayed there with me and just was a support for me. And that's what got me out of my drug-induced life for a couple of years there. Yeah. So love your friends, love anyone. If they're on drugs, don't just write them off.
Yeah. There's always a chance they come back. God, that shit. Meth has been such a major impactor in my family's life. It really ripped it apart. And it wasn't because of something I was on. It hit our family like a ton of bricks. And well, I'm a single dad raising 3 kids now because of it. And it came out of nowhere, you know. It just happens, unfortunately. But yeah, that's cool to hear that, you know. I'd like to hear people on the ground. I'd like to talk to people on the ground that are actually there, that can see what it's like. So maybe I can go back and let other people know, like you're saying, talk to your MAGA friends. It's hard. It is hard. Because when I say it's like talking to a disease, I don't mean they are a disease. I mean, it's like they have like a drug addiction. It's like a dopamine addiction. There's something wrong there where they're not thinking cognitively in their own sense of what they normally do. And it seems to be getting worse. And I was on a stream, an interview panel yesterday with Silicon Curtain, and one of the guests said, when you start putting a political party like Democrat or Republican before being an American, you're setting yourself up for a very volatile country, a very volatile state, and it's like a ticking time bomb. And that, I think that really hit home for me. I still am processing what he said, but it made a lot of sense to me as well. Man, anything else you want to add?
I kind of want to get this out there because I know that I don't know if there's any MAGA people in here or people that will share this with them, but a big thing is like people are being funded by this organization or Soros or this or that. I want to talk about how I make my money to travel and stuff. So just to get that out there. So whenever I go through cities and stuff, I pick up jobs. So for example, when I was in New Mexico, I called around and called fencing companies because I knew how I did fencing back in Texas. So I got on the 5th call. This dude was cool. He's like, yeah, start tomorrow. I picked up a job, worked there for a month, made some money. And then whenever I was in Denver, I worked at a golf tournament for 2 weeks and basically was washing dishes, serving, doing stuff that they had me do. San Francisco, I picked up gigs. I worked with Converse, the shoe company. They were doing something for the NBA All-Star Weekend, projecting stuff on buildings. And then that Stop AI organization, they needed a filmer and editor. So they paid me to do that. And then here in Portland, I actually worked at a corn dog deep frying stand. And and then up in Washington, I helped, I was hauling concrete. So I do all kinds of things to make money. So if anyone's watching and thinks I'm just like a paid person on this side or that side, I don't believe in the 2-party system. I don't believe in there being Democrats or Republicans. I think we need to have 8 parties for the American people to choose from, or more even, or less, or at least more than 2.
5.
So yeah, break out of that 2-party system, break out of that thought that it's either this or that. I'm not being paid by anyone. I've made my first bit of money on YouTube this past week. People have been donating to me and it's been really cool. I've never received donations before until this week. I got a couple back when I was here in July, but I've made over $200 this week from donations, and that's the most money I've made from this kind of stuff. So I'm not like a rich person doing this. If anyone's watching, they can.
So the reason I laughed when you said corn dogs, and there's a backstory to this.
Okay.
The guy I moderate for on his news channel, who got me into this, who was like my main inspiration, was Andrew Mercado Media, and he was working at the Minnesota County Fair at a hot dog. Well, he wasn't working. I don't think he was actually working at the hot dog stand, but another channel got beefing with him, and they started calling him the Hot Dog Man. And so like now like that's the ongoing thing. He's the Hot Dog Man. So as soon as you start saying I did corn dogs, I'm like, oh my god.
I guess I'm the corn dog man. It was at a fair too. I was working the Rose City Festival fair thing going on here.
That is too funny. That's just so coincidental. And the fact that you're saying we need more than 2 parties is absolutely the same energy that Mercado gives out. So that's very cool to hear. Like-minded people who have been called paid George Soros actors, absolutely in the hot dog industry.
He's funneling it. George Soros is funneling the money through the hot dog industry to people like us.
Oh Jesus!
I made $170 from George Soros through the hot dog industry.
Clip that, guys. Clip that. Well, man, this has been an awesome time. I don't want to take too much of your time. But gosh dang, thank you for doing what you're doing. Also, let's shout out your channel one more time before we go, so everybody knows exactly where to go. And you've got links there to donate to you directly, correct?
Yeah, I got my Cash App, my PayPal, my Buy Me a Coffee, and I might add my Venmo on there. So there's that. My YouTube channel is Kamryn Walks. I don't know if y'all can see my name here. It says Kamryn Talks on the bottom of the screen, but it's a W instead of a T. So the same thing, just one word, and it's pretty easy to find. Most of my stuff isn't really political. It's all mostly travel and enjoying life. But when I'm in these places, I do document that. So if y'all are into traveling, there's that. If y'all are into this stuff, there's that. I'm not stopping at either of those things this lifetime. So,
all right. Well, hit me up when you come to Northern California. I'll be around. I don't know if I'll be available, but if I am, we'll go have lunch or something. It'll be cool.
For sure. Yeah. I know a place I don't know if I'll be in Sacramento because I'm going down the coast, but I know a good place there that has some chileriana I saw you talking about earlier.
Oh man, I make my own. What do you know what do you know about Mendocino County?
Is that what Sacramento is?
Mendocino's on 101 if you're headed down 101. I don't know if you're headed to 5 or 101.
I'm going down I'm going to go I'm going to go from here to Cannon Beach and then go down the 101 or the 1 or whatever it's called. I don't really know too much. I was in Humboldt County for a bit, staying in Crescent City and what's the other one? Eureka for like a while because my van actually caught fire and I had to. That's a whole nother story, but yeah, that's the most I know about the coast is that area. Yeah,
I'm down from there a little bit, but when you hit the Cali line, shoot me a DM on Discord. Maybe we can link up, have lunch.
All right, for sure. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, hey, it was great to have you guys, or great to thank you for guys for being here. Thank you for being here, Kamryn. I appreciate the hell out of it. I love hearing stories about people, especially people who are there on the front line. Keep the vibes up, man. Your aura is fucking genuine. Like I said, is absolutely. I could tell it, but when you were on your stream, I got to get this guy on my channel and hear his life. But thank you very much for being here, man.
Thank you so much. I don't know if you share. Should I call you Renegade? Do you share your real name on this channel or not?
Pablo.
Thanks, Pablo. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys. If y'all want to watch the stream, I'll be out there tonight in a few hours in Portland at the ICE facility.
They'll definitely be there. All right, man. I'll catch you later.
Peace. Y'all have a good night.
Well. That was fucking amazing. That was. Hold on. And man, the similarities and the coincidences, it's too much sometimes. Here, I'm gonna bring up his channel. I'm probably not gonna stream the protest tonight, but he's gonna be down in it, so we'll bring him up. Kamryn Walks right here, guys. I know the link's getting plugged. Very cool. Kamryn Walks right here. He'll be down in Portland. I had a great time talking to that man. I can't wait to. I'm gonna bump into him for sure. I'm probably gonna do 50-51 in Sacramento. I believe, yeah, I have the day off specifically. It sounds like he's going to Frisco, so you guys are going to have to watch all of our streams when we're down there on the front lines. But very, very cool. Pyro! I see you, Pyro. I'm expecting you to go down there and throw on a suit, sir. I'm expecting that. Give my channel a shout out when you get down there. Guys, that's it for me. That's it. We had Kamryn Walks on here. Just a fucking great soul. Awesome dude. Very, very cool to get to talk to him. I plan to do more interviews like this. It's great to see people down there, but you don't get to know who they are until you actually talk to them, you know? And I think we need more of that. And like he said, you know, we should, I know I've said in my past to distance ourselves from a lot of the MAGA, but the ones that are coming out of it, I think we do have to be supportive, because it is really easy to get cooked into misinformation. I mean, look what the Russians did their whole society, and they're doing to ours. And they do find a way. Russian influence, like we were hearing on Silicon Curtain during the interview when I was there, they find a way to dehumanize the other side and to pit them against each other, and that's what they do. So yeah, a lot to think about from this one. Really a lot to think about. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. I'm going to play some video games later on tonight. If it gets absolutely crazy in Portland or absolutely crazy somewhere else, I will go live tonight with breaking. I might have a chili relleno hanging out my mouth. Blonde Bombsheller with the 10 gifteds in the background. Thank you, BB, for the support of the channel. Guys, if you want to support my channel in any way, the monthly memberships are the way to go. Thank you. Also pin. Oh, I didn't get it pinned. I was having an issue pinning. I think on this stream it would be better to have, if you guys want to go over to support Kamryn's channel directly, that would be a good thing to do. The dude's in the van life. It sounds like he's been doing side work just to hustle his way through this and to make it happen. So if you guys want to go support him, any way possible, $1, $10, $1,000, whatever. I feel like that dude is deserving of such a donation. So, yeah, that's what I got. All right, guys, thank you guys for being here. Let me hit you with a little outro. I will see you on the next one. Also, I've got a video drop coming of me on Silicon Curtain later on tonight. It's rather lengthy, but, listen to it in the background or check out the full thing, whatever you guys want to do. But, yeah, that was the biggest channel I've been on. And let me tell you, you're not going to see it, but I was pretty damn nervous going into it. The behind the scenes before that was something else. It was really cool conversation too. And yeah, he invited me back on his channel later for a one-on-one along with Nick Suter. So I'm going to hold them to that. So plan to see me there again. All right, guys, here's your outro. Peace out. Love you guys.
They wave their flags like they own the sky, shouting loud, but they don't know why. Books untouched, their minds run dry. Truth's a stranger, they pass right by. Oh, false flags flying high, empty hearts where the truth won't lie. They scream of love for the land they claim, but their wicked deeds bring only shame. But their wicked deeds bring only shame. But their wicked deeds bring only shame. They chant the words they barely know, hollow pride in a shallow show, pointing fingers where the winds don't blow, building walls where the rivers flow. Oh, false flags flying high, empty hearts where the truth won't lie. They scream of love for the land they claim, but their wicked deeds bring only shame. But their wicked deeds bring only shame. But their wicked deeds bring only shame. A patriot's heart should beat with grace, not with fists or a hate-filled face. If love's the seed, then let it grow, not in shadows, but where light will show. Oh, false flags flying high, empty hearts where the truth won't lie. They scream of love for the land they claim, but their wicked words bring only shame.
Why would you think Michelle Obama's a man?
Well, do a little research. Just do a little research.
But that's like out there.
What's out there is the fact that her walking out in a skirt, and there's an obvious bulge where there shouldn't be one.
Another day. Just run till you take your last breath. There's no time to sit around being lazy. Renegade chunk is gonna grind out daisy. Survival schemes, raiding dreams like you don't care. Zombies scrubbing on some bodies like a nightmare. Grabbing loot in the spawn might just fight there. And the goons shooting at me, yeah, we're out there. Keep the feet dry, light a fire if you're crazy. Survivors out there shooting, yeah, that's day. They try to take my loot, but I'm fast and I'm sneaky. Hearing footsteps in the woods, yeah, that's creepy. But I'm a wolf and all of you looking sheepy. Knock you one gun, now you feeling little sleepy. Waking up, your loot's gone, don't go crazy. Another day, another death, yeah, that's Daisy. Hear the bullets crack by your head, make you screech. Run, cover, keep your gun by your reach. Wear your armor and a helmet is what we preach. Or get your ass sent back to the beach. Clean your water, cook your food, wash your hands. Keep one eye on the bad guy and your friends. Watch for killers who shoot at you through a lens. But this is how the story ends.